Thank you for joining us virtually at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. We are a sanctuary dedicated to preserving Alaska's wildlife through conservation, education, research, and quality animal care. My name is Natalie. I'm the education specialist here. And today I am joined by, let me turn that radio off. Today I'm joined by Angelica, our curator, our assistant curator, and we're going to be collecting browse for some of our herbivores here, specifically our moose. So if you stick around till the end, you're going to get to see us feed them some of these tasty treats that we're collecting. We're located in Portage, Alaska, and today we are having fabulous weather. It's only like 40 degrees and it feels fairly warm for us out here. Please let us know where you are tuning in from. We love to meet people from all over the world. So I'm going to get ready to walk around our willow bushes here and collect some branches for our moose. Feeding the moose browse is a really important thing for their diet. In the wild, a moose is going to be eating mostly things that are about head level or aquatic vegetation in the summer. When it gets to wintertime, the browse has lost all of its leaves, but they're going to eat the bark off of those branches. And so we like to collect browse for them and provide it to them. It gets them very excited, and it's a really important part of their diet. Here at AWCC, we are limited on how much browse we have because only so much can grow on our property. So if you're local to us and you have browse on your property that you are trimming or cutting down, we would love to accept that as a donation. Specifically, spruce, willow, or alder is really important for our wildlife here. Angelica has quite the haul of branches already.
Some of these actually fell off in a snow load.
Nice.
So I just had to get them from the ground, so that was nice.
That is very convenient.
Yeah.
The moose are going to be very happy.
Do you want to try it? Are you taking food from the animals? Natalie!
All right. Let's go grab some more.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll let you lead.
So how often are we doing this here on site for our animals?
We collect browse every single day for our animals. We get to take care of a lot of what we call hoof stock, and those are the animals that have hooves. And so we are collecting from property, but we're pretty limited on the amount we can pull from property without decimating all of our supply here. Usually in summer, when it's not in this beautiful blanket of snow, we've got a pretty substantial willow forest here for us. But our keepers are going out for at least 2 hours a day to collect up browse for them. I think Natalie mentioned willow, birch, alder, whatever we can get our hands on to feed to the critters. We're very happy about that. And we estimate we try to get at least 60 pounds of edible browse material for the moose alone. And that's for each moose. And when I say edible browse material, we can use this wonderful selection that Natalie picked up for us. So moose are amazing, and they'll use those really cool noses to test the pliability of these branches. So they're looking for that new growth that's really bendy. So they'll munch up probably to about this size, and then they'll scrape the bark off. And willow tends to be a preferred treat, if you will, for moose and most of the hoof stock we have here. So that's 60 pounds of these little pliable pieces. So that's quite a lot of browse.
And what all animals eat these?
Oh man, almost, let's see. We get to give it to our moose girls, of course. Our Sitka black-tailed deer, caribou, and reindeer tend to be our priority when we're feeding browse out to the animals here. And then we are also able to offer it to our bison herds. Our muskox really love that opportunity to scent mark on the branches and also eat that nice young material on these. And the blossoms, and you can kind of see some of the catkins coming out on some of these willows. They really like that nice fuzzy stuff to eat. So let's see. We'll also offer it when we can to our bears. We'll eat a little bit of willow. And we like to we often give it to any of the orphan babies that we're taking care of for the summer. So any orphan moose calves, we give them as much browse as we can handle.
And how do moose know which browse are good to eat?
Oh, this is a great question that I can talk for eons about. But typically they're using their sense of smell to locate what type of food will be good for them. But they've got, if anybody's seen moose, which I hope you have, if you haven't, make your way down to AWCC. But they've got like kind of an elongated nose that's kind of floppy if you look at it. It reminds me of when you used to do to little kids. But they use that nice movable nose to test this. And you can see this, that they'll just kind of move it around. And they'll also use their lips to test the pliability and to sniff out the healthy stuff. But yeah, you want me to head back? Hey, Natalie, you done goofing off in the snow?
Huh?
You done goofing off in the snow?
Are we ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, I got some more.
Wow. When we cut browse for the animals here, we tend to shop for the browse like we see the moose shop, which moose will eat just a little bit and usually move on to another tree or another browse option. So we tend to not take too much from any one plant so that we can keep those trees growing throughout the years. After you.
All right.
And feel free to ask any questions you might have in the comments section here. We're going to load up our steed and make our way over to the moose enclosure. I'm also post-holing here.
Bye, Natalie.
I fell.
I missed it.
Oh, good.
We have keepers often lose their boots during post-hole season. So keep your boots on there, Nolan.
You almost did it. Almost did it. All right, we're going to load the vehicle up with all of this browse and ourselves, and we're going to head over to the moose habitat. In the meantime, if you have questions, remember to leave those down in the comments, and then we're going to go feed the moose, and you're going to join us for that. So if you hold tight, you get to see that.
It's our trusty steed here.
Coffee. Sweet. You want to hop in?
Yes.
Do you want to hop in?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to hold that for you to hop in.
Yes.
And now we get to see another side of the AWCC.
This is really
We got it.
on the internet.
Oh, wow. Look at you go.
Wow, thank you. I'm Morgan. I'm the social media manager.
And back
And
to
I'm very tall.
All right, you just sit down. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm all good.
Right.
Got a nice nest there in the back of that gator.
I do. It's a Morgan bird.
All of the willows. It looks so good.
Hello. See, it's a beautiful day here in the Portage Valley. We oftentimes get so socked in we can't see these mountains, so we're happy to be able to share this with you. It's a pretty okay office. There's our Sitka deer. You can see how much the snow has melted since we did our live stream
All right, now all of these goodies get to go to the moose.
Including me.
Well, they don't really eat meat.
Thankfully. Thank you everyone for your patience as I crawled out of the back of the gator here.
She is the browse. Be the browse.
This is the POV from the browse, everybody. Isn't this exciting?
So, what we didn't see while we were traipsing around in the willow forest, our keeper Ziggy was asking the moose girls to shift out of this yard. So the area we're about to enter is moose-free currently, which is how we like to live.
Which if you take a peek out here, everybody, you can see them out in their further field. So the moose ladies have two different sides to their enclosure. So there's one of our girls out in that far field, and this is their closer enclosure where they typically are when you're visiting the AWCC. And this is the indoor portion of that enclosure. A little volunteer raven.
That didn't really work.
So what are you doing?
We're putting the browse all throughout their yard here so that it's interesting when they enter, and then they'll eat all of the bark and stuff off of it. So we want to make sure it's spread out so they each have opportunity to get whatever they are interested in. When you're walking around here, you'll notice there's quite a bit of moose leftovers, but we joke around here, this is the good kind of poop to step in because it's practically sawdust this time of year because they're not eating a whole lot of vegetation that has leaves on it, so it doesn't have a ton of water in their droppings. So their yard is not very squishy. So I've attempted to stick some of them in the ground and it's not going too well. But we're going to put some of them throughout and hopefully make it interesting and fun for them. So come along.
And a shout out to Sydney. Hi, Sydney. Thank you so much for tuning in. I also have a question from our drive around,
Yes.
which is, what is a muskox?
That is a great question. So a muskox, their name is a little misleading. A muskox is a member of the sheep and goat family. You're not going to find them in too many places around the United States. They only live in Alaska within the United States. And they get to be about 800 pounds and 5 feet tall as a bull. They have really unique and cool horns on their head that make a boss on top of their head. And the most fascinating part is they grow a coat called kiviot. Kiviot is kind of like wool, but 8 times warmer, and you can brush it and collect it and make the coolest yarn from them. They're a super fun animal to have here in Alaska. We're hoping to do a Facebook Live with them in the near future, so check back for updates about that.
We have a question about, do the moose in Alaska suffer from winter tick like they do in northeastern U.S.?
Not as bad, but there have been some cases of it. We get so cold here, we don't have as many winter bugs.
How's it going, Angelica?
Oh, you know,
I've got one stay up.
Look at that!
All my other ones have fallen. I was really struggling.
experience.
What's the secret, Angelica?
You take it, pointy end down, and just stab it.
Yeah! She's amazing!
But that's what I did.
You were probably going for the ice snow, huh? Natalie likes to make life more difficult for herself. It's called self-enrichment. Oh, bye.
You can see one of our moose ladies on the other side of the fence. She's peeking over right there, investigating what's going on in her enclosure.
Oh no, there's some trash in here too.
The real trick is not getting getting whacked in the face with it as you're placing it. I haven't learned that trick very well yet.
And what is this here in the path? That tree.
Oh, that tree. I think you might have been here for that tree.
I sure was.
Doesn't quite belong to Charlie Brown, but this is a Christmas tree that we actually got donated to us just after Christmas. Its previous owners removed all of their lovely tinsel, ornaments, and lights and gave it to us. And then we in turn gave it to the moose, the muskox, the elk herds, the wolves. Our little squirrel has a couple in his exhibit. And it just kind of depends on the animal and how they're going to approach it. But the moose definitely, and I can bring this a little closer, definitely munched. You can see where they were munching the nice fluffy bits off of the tree itself. But we'll let this tree keep doing its thing until we can give it probably to our bears next so they can get that nice scent and tactile enrichment. But for now, it's a moose tree. Christmas! Christmas tree.
Moosey Christmas.
Christmas tree. There, she got it. I'll see you later. I keep trying to make that one work and it doesn't work. So.
It was a good attempt.
Yeah, I like the
We had a question, do the ravens steal twigs like they...
Not that I've seen significantly. Every once in a while during nesting season, we might see them flying around, but it's nothing that we're too heartbroken about, because usually by then the moose have had their way with it. And so you can see just kind of how I was showing you earlier, they ate it up into that thick of diameter, and then they just started stripping that bark. And the way they do this is with their bottom teeth, because moose, just like most deer and most ruminant species, don't have their upper incisors, so they just scrape using their bottom incisors. Looks like we've got one girl ready. You ready, Ziggy? All right, we should get out of here, because we don't want them to think we're going to eat their food for them.
Also, everyone say hello to Jocelyn. She's watching.
Hi, Jocelyn. Hello. See you soon.
So excited for you to come back.
All right. I'll let you guys get situated, and then we'll call over to Ziggy and help you to... Oh, that's nice. You got it.
I did.
So most zookeepers don't have a gym membership.
That is one heavy door.
All right. Well, let's go on around, and then Ziggy will give the moose access. After you.
Thank you.
After moose. Okay, Ziggy, I think we're good.
Angelica, which branch do you think they're gonna go for first?
Ooh, I'm gonna say one of those front ones. You see that one with the catkins? That nice, like, fluffy
Ooh,
white
yeah.
stuff at the
Yeah.
tips?
Right about here is the one that Angelica's thinking. Which one do you guys think is going to be eaten first? Drop your predictions in the comments.
She's shopping. Look, she's leading herself with her nose. Oh, I'm already wrong.
She's going down the path. I think she's gonna get that first branch on that path.
Oh,
She's gonna go for the easy and accessible.
Oh, nose.
Oh,
The nose.
all right. Oh, she's back on
Natalie's
target.
right.
Ooh, she liked your lips.
Ooh,
Sniffing, shopping. So this is actually a really great sign that she was super calm coming up to the browse. This means that our keeper team is really keeping up with the amount of browse that these moose want. Often if we're on really, really heavy snow days when we're having to prioritize moving snow around rather than go browsing, we aren't able to get as much browse as we would like to for our moose, and they tend to be very excited when they get access to that browse. So the fact that she just kind of meandered on over and just went and checked it out, and she's just munching on it as she wants to, this is great. This makes me very happy as a moose keeper.
and is that Pip or Joe we're looking at?
This is Joe.
My pleasure.
And it looks like I scraped her hair a little bit. Yeah, Pip is over still enjoying the browse that Ziggy gave to them as a reward for shifting over to the other part of their yard. There we go. Nice. So she just went straight for that really nice bendable twig, and she just used her molars to just snap it off at the right spot. So she's just going to keep munching. Oh, what a good moose.
And how do we gather enough browse for the moose during the winter months?
That is a really great question, and we're still trying to figure that out. Often I get to live in Anchorage, so I get to commute an hour a day when I come to work. So every time I'm commuting, anytime I'm driving around, even on my off days, if I see any branches that have fallen, any trees that have gotten knocked down in a windstorm, or anybody, especially those tree trimming companies working around my neighborhood, if I can stuff it in my little car, then I will put as much in there as possible. But winter is really a challenge for us to keep up on it. So we tend to increase the amount of other food sources that we offer to them, just to keep them satiated and to give them that kind of roughage that they're really craving.
And do the moose have a favorite type of tree?
Oh, definitely. Willow is for sure the favorite, but variety is the second favorite. So we try to vary the types of trees that we're offering. And we're not just offering trees, especially in summer. We're offering a lot of different, like fireweed is a choice food for moose. So we try to collect up as much fireweed as we can get our sticky little hands on. But mostly it's willow that we're aiming for. Oh, she's such a good moose. I'm very biased.
Good girl.
I moose ask you, which is your favorite moose, Morgan?
I'm pretty partial to Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Natalie?
I think Pippin's my favorite.
Oh, got a nice little
Be a
split.
little different there.
Ooh. If you have a favorite moose, go ahead and drop their name in the comments and settle our argument.
Morgan knows not to ask me who my favorite moose is because zookeepers don't have favorites. Or at
Who's your
least this
favorite
one doesn't.
today?
Today? Don't have one.
Valid. Well played.
So you see how she, even though there was still some edible food on that last branch she was shopping at, she ate a little bit, she moved on to another one, she's eaten a little bit, and now she's gone on to a third branch. So she'll likely, that's one of the reasons we call it browsing, because we're just kind of browsing when we eat. If we're a moose, we're just kind of shopping around, seeing what we like. But I think, Natalie, your planting of those willow trees is a little bit better than mine because you see how yours are still sticking in the ground. Mine are just like, meow.
It's because I put mine on the ice.
Ah, nice. Nice. What a good moose. So you can kind of see her nose bend a little bit when she bites down with that, those front incisors. What's the cutest wild nose you've seen? Mm-hmm. I'm throwing the tough ones at you now.
I mean, a moose nose is pretty cute. I mean, it just looks so boopable, right?
It jiggles.
It does. And it's so big. There's so many cute ones.
Oh, there are so many cute ones.
I don't know if I have a favorite nose because they're all just so cute. And they're all so unique.
Who knows? My favorite nose are mink noses. Mink, American mink. Yep.
Why?
They are pink and they wiggle a little bit and they're just tiny. I like weasels. I'm a weasel fan. Look at that. Oh, good moose.
All right.
All right, we're going to let Jo enjoy the rest of her browse, and hopefully Pip will be joining her soon and they can share on that browse. Thank you so much for joining us for this Facebook Live and post-holing through the snow with Angelica and I as we gathered up browse, and then fed it to the moose. If you are local to the Portage area and you ever have any browse that you would like to donate, please email our info@Alaska Wildlife email with whatever kind of tree it is, and we can tell you if we can accept that as a donation. Especially willow is one of our favorite donations to receive here. All donations of browse are super important for us helping to feed these animals. Like Angelica mentioned, we don't have a ton of it here on property, so the more we can get, the better. Again, thank you for joining us this week for this Facebook Live. We're going to be doing them again next week. If you have suggestions of Facebook Lives you'd like to see, we'd love to hear those suggestions down in the comments. And please continue to ask questions, and Morgan will answer them as she gets the chance to. All right, we'll see you again next week.